There's truly nothing like starting a new Minecraft world. I've been playing this game since I was a kid, and there's just something so nostalgic about it. Today, I'm making my first ever hardcore world on Minecraft. Great new world. I loaded into a savanna, unfortunately. Personally, this is probably my least favorite biome just because everything looks so muted. The world started off like normal. I got some wood, turned that into planks, and then a crafting table. And then I crafted up some basic wooden tools before heading off. I found some stone, so I went ahead and got enough of that for basic tools yet again. Then I found some coal, which will be very important. And then I had to do some things to the animals. I had to make sure that I had enough food, and I knew that running out of food would be a very big thing, especially in hardcore, because your hunger depletes very quickly in this mode. And I was not discriminating. I was getting all of the animals, all of them. I also saw this really big cave, ravine thing, whatever you want to call it, and I decided that it wasn't smart to go in there, so I went ahead and tortured some more cows. Then I got some more stone to make some furnaces to cook up all of this meat that we just got. After healing up, I found some more coal. I then decided to go and head up this mountain because I had been on seeds before with big mountains like this, and I knew I would find lots of good stuff up here, especially iron. And since it's hardcore, it's going to be very important to get suited up as quickly as possible. So I found a whole bunch of iron, got it all smelted up, made some booties, put those bad boys on. Now I'm going to see just how much iron I can find. Yeah, as you can tell, it was quite a lot. And I left a lot of it, honestly. I could have gotten even grittier and got all of it, but I figured it'd be nice to have some extra laying around in case I need it. So I did go ahead and light up the whole down area of the mountain range, and then I got some water for in the future when we start the farm. I went ahead and made a little unlimited well down here. In case you didn't know, you can make a 4-hole and make unlimited water source with water buckets. But you only need 2 water buckets this way. And then I decided here that I wanted to make this a little bit more even, just so that way it looked a little better and it was easier to get up and down. I went ahead and made a really big wheat farm at the bottom there, and then I decided that I wanted to get rid of all of these rocks over here to make my base on top of the mountain range. And since I had everything iron already, I figured what better time to go ahead and make a base. And this is just me showing you guys how big this area truly is and how crazy I am to do this with only iron tools. Let's just say it took a very long time to clear out this whole area. And I did in fact get a whole bunch of stone from doing that and a little bit more iron. But I made this much progress, I decided that I was going to hollow out this area to make it my home. And here's some more footage of that farm that I made. Nice little size. I did go ahead and yield the crops that it produced and got a good amount of wheat from it. I was honestly surprised. I didn't know if I was going to have to make it bigger. Maybe down the line I might, but for now it's perfect. I went over here to craft up some bread, but then I saw this dude and I decided I am not ready to take on him right now. I went and crafted up my bread so that way I'd have some food source. I then decided to set out on an adventure to find some sand and other materials that I would need to finish out this starter base. I saw this here and I thought, oh, maybe there's a geode inside because it kind of looked like those similar blocks, but I decided that I needed to stick to my plan because my ADHD was very much kicking at this point. And I wasn't really sure where to go because I didn't really see any sand anywhere in sight. And here I am, like a nude, sleeping out in the ground because I didn't bring a bed or anything with me for whatever reason. I did in fact survive the night in my little noob dirt hole, and I decided to go ahead and kill some sheep just in case the adventure took a long time to find sand and I had to sleep through another night. I did not want to be without wool. I did in fact see a village upon the horizon, so I decided to head towards it. Listen, I did in fact steal their wheat, but villagers can't break blocks, so it's not like they were using it anyways. And then I saw this weird cursed water block right there, so I decided to patch it up. I probably should have kept it there because I feel like that's pretty rare. And now I'm noticing that there's a lot more glitched out water blocks. I'm not sure what's happening there. Neither of the farmer villagers had very good trade, so they didn't get any of my emeralds today. I went in here and looked in this chest. There was just bread and a satchel. The satchel did come in handy. I found some watermelons, so I got those and I put them in my inventory. I also took some of their emeralds. They can't use the chest, so they're basically just there for me. Then I decided to leave the village because there really wasn't that much there and start to head more off into the world to find some sand, like the original plan was, after all, to get sand for my house. I did finally find some over here. This felt like such a long adventure. I don't really know actually how many blocks it was because I wasn't using cords or anything. But I found some bamboo, so I went ahead and got some of that so we could start a little farm back on base. And I gathered up as much sand as I could with my shovel. My shovel actually ended up breaking, so it was time to head back. But first I got some cocoa seeds because you can make cookies with these. I wasn't sure if I was able to grow these, but I wanted them anyway, okay? Who doesn't love cookies? And I did in fact make it back to the little base area, and since I was back, I went ahead and got all this sand in the furnace. I went ahead and made room for some more windows. I wanted some really big windows right here overlooking the valley and also this little garden that I made. So I went ahead and I cleared this area out a little bit just so that way you could see right out when you're standing inside from the windows. I was in desperate need of wood because I hadn't really gotten any more except for from the beginning of making the world because I was so focused on getting a starter base and iron and all that stuff. So I went ahead and chopped down a few trees. I heard a little monster boy in here, so I went ahead and prepared for battle. This would be the first encounter with a mob this close. And I accidentally fell in there. I did not mean to do that. And I low-key was freaking out because I wasn't sure if there was going to be more mobs in there. So I hurried up and got the frick out of there. Whew. First mob and I almost died to a fucking zombie. I found a little chicken and he wanted my seed. So I got him to follow me. Not to any impeding doom or anything. He's just, he's just gonna come with me and totally never turn into food or anything like that. I did add some details up here to the stairs and made it just look a little bit better, and then I also added all of those windows in, and I think it came out super cute for a starter base. I really loved how I was able to see out, and then I noticed that the pillagers were back out there, so that kind of freaked me out. And they were just watching me. They were down there by my chicken, and I started getting worried about my chicken. And I also wondered how long they'd been there because I was just down there. So I definitely very closely avoided death on that one. So to try to get rid of them from my house, I started going over this way to the snow biome because I saw that there was a cherry blossom tree over here. So I decided, well, maybe they will go away from me if I go very far this way. So I went on another little adventure. While I was out, I went ahead and just got a whole bunch more wood because I really barely had any. And I also wanted some different sapling types. I found these cute little flowers, so I put them in my little planter boxes, and I noticed that the garden needed tending too. And I had also planted those watermelons that I found, and I also planted some pumpkins. I then went ahead and harvested all the wheat that had grown up, and then I replanted all of it. And I was able to craft up 24 new pieces of bread from the garden. And then I spent some time organizing my chest up a little bit. I went and looked at this cave that I had saw earlier over here, and I decided that this would probably be good for next episode. Just because I was still a little bit nervous to go down there. I didn't want to lose all of my progress, but I know that I'm gonna have to go down there if I want to get diamonds and better tools. So I had a lot of fun starting this series. I hope that you guys will enjoy it. It definitely took a lot of time to edit and everything, and making the footage was like kind of complicated for these videos, but I personally love watching these kind of videos, and I've always wanted to make one. So yeah. Let me know what you guys think about my little base setup and everything like that. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos in the future. I definitely want to have a part 2 out soon. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.